Hey, hello, hello. Okay, I am live. This is a really interesting experience for me. My first ever attempt at a proper live stream. Let's see how it goes. I don't really have, let's see, try and angle the camera so it gets me a little bit better. Uh, yeah, no, that's not bad. Okay, so I'll try. Surprisingly enough, I've got no viewers. That's all good. Basically, we're having no subscribers. This is all steep kind of learning curve for me at the moment. So I'm happy to do my learning kind of in public. A bit like, you could say in F1 terms, a bit like Stuart Ford did in 1997 with their car and the Ford engine, and all the engine blow-ups they had and things like that. I am probably going to require a lot of engine changes in my time here. We'll see what happens, basically. And this all feels okay so far. So I'll try and type in my first message. I'm live. Oh, wow. And I've not put my phones on silent. That's a good start. Okay. These exclamation marks. No need for too many histrionics. Let's see. A few more would be good. So this is mainly a test live stream, really. Did one test live stream about 10 days ago. Probably more like 11 days ago now. So, yeah, this is my setup at the moment. I am in my hotel room in the travel lodge. I am in my temporary home, basically. Joys of being effectively homeless, basically due to the stupidity and incompetence of the local housing authority where I live, which is fun. It's only been just under a year since they were first told I needed to move house. Still no sign of it happening yet. This is typical of their level of incompetence generally. So yeah, I'm staying here for the time being. I'll be here for at least another couple of weeks in this hotel in the travel lodge. It's fun. So liking the lighting here is not too bad. I was thinking it might be a bit dark in this corner without the light shining on my face, but the monitor does actually provide quite a decent amount of light, which is not bad. This is probably a good angle for the face, for showing the face of the lion on the screen. Okay. I'm seeing 0 viewers, which is not surprising at all. considering I have a total of 2 subscribers on here at the moment. That's all good. If I ever, the first time I feel really nervous, I think, will be when the first time that 0 at the top of the screen changes to a 1, and I find there's somebody actually watching me. That's going to be interesting. So this is my setup at the moment. I might try doing more of these live streams before I finish my current stay in the hotel. So maybe in the next couple of weeks, I might try doing some more live streams. Just trying to get myself chilled out at the moment and acclimatized to the live YouTuber experience. This is such a new thing for me, basically. Still had this channel for less than a year, and it feels kind of a little bit nerve-wracking, but I've decided to not build it up at all before I start doing my thing with the channel. Basically, start working on the channel in complete, relative privacy of not having told anyone that the channel's there, basically, and just obscurity. That's the word I was looking for. Obscurity. Basically, I'm very comfortable building the channel up in obscurity at the moment, because the last thing I want to do would be to have loads of people watching me and expecting great things and not have anything properly uploaded on the channel yet, or not have anything meaningful kind of on this channel. So I'm trying to upload some meaningful content. I've filmed a few race review videos, obviously, the last few races of 2022, but those are still nowhere near what I would describe as content that I'm happy with, because they're just basically recordings of me, a bit like this, recordings of me speaking. And I want to, over time, teach myself to edit videos and make videos which look nicer, which include video footage and photos and inset screens of races and things like this, and hopefully start making some reaction videos to races as well. So basically, this is this always feels, for an F1 fan, this time always feels a little bit kind of dead, I think. January, when you're waiting for the new season to start. It's over a month since, or at least this year is over a month since the last year's season finished, and we still haven't got the car launches yet. We still haven't got them. The car launches are obviously due to start early February every year. So those haven't started yet, and it's feeling a little bit just feels a bit meh, if you're technical term, if you're an F1 fan at this time of year. Not an awful lot to do except scan the internet, scan Google for stories, and however much truth might be in them, and obviously true stories are what we're looking for, but the sensationalist ones are always amusing, have an amusing element to them, even if you know deep down that they're highly unlikely to have any meaningful truth or meaningful content in them. So scan the internet for stories, and if you're a fan of classic F1 like myself, then it's always a good time to check out F1 TV or check out YouTube for video footage of classic races, which is always good. And certainly I'm hoping to do some reaction videos to classic races at some point in future, and hopefully avoid being targeted by FOM like so many YouTubers have sadly been, and hopefully find ways of doing that and entertaining other fans and helping contribute to the community without getting copyright strike to hell for including what they consider to be copyrighted footage, which is something I feel very strongly about, very passionately about, because to me, it's just beyond crazy that they do that. Because we're not harming anyone. All we're wanting to do is enjoy watching the sport we love as F1 fans. We love watching footage of classic races. And it's just crazy that they have such an attitude problem towards people uploading footage of certainly full races complete races on YouTube. It's just bonkers, and I'm hoping that eventually the rules and the laws are gonna hopefully be relaxed regarding that, because it's just all kinds of ridiculous. So yeah. Orange juice is always good. Still no one watching me. That's so yeah, I mean, certainly it's been an interesting winter off the track, team-wise. The team principal merry-go-round has been pretty interesting. Mattia Binotto leaving Ferrari, I'm not surprised, I've got to say, because there were so many organizational errors in the team this year. They produced an amazing car, they did an amazing job, and then essentially managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, although certainly they would have had a massive fight on their hands to win the championship, with Red Bull being so strong and doing so well. I think Ferrari really just, well, to paraphrase Martin Brundle, certainly stood on their own tails massively, but consistently throughout the race and throughout the season. And it was strategy. so many strategic errors with the team and organizational errors, and it was so many different departments of the team which were messing things up. And when something is so universal and so general throughout the team, you've got to say that it points to one thing, and that's a leadership issue. So I'm not surprised at all, basically, that Mattia has lost his job, or resigned. He's moved on, because I think Ferrari is such a pressure cooker environment for any team boss, and team bosses have lost their jobs over much less in the past. So yeah, it certainly didn't surprise me at all. I think the Williams issue has been interesting. I think Jos Capito has been a good team boss over the last couple of years. I think he's kind of, even if he's only tried to act as a kind of stopgap boss since Frank Williams and Claire Williams left, I think he's done a good job, and he's done a good job of keeping the team kind of ticking over, at least pretty well. So, but I always got the feeling that he was not likely to be staying there for a long time. So he was likely to only be a short-term boss, effectively a interim team boss, till someone maybe more long-term came along. So I think it's interesting times for team bosses in F1. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. 2023 is going to be a good year for seeing the new, how some of the new team bosses and the new structures within some of the teams work, and see if that shuffles the teams around on the grid much in terms of competitiveness. It's going to be interesting for sure. So yeah, I've not really thought much about this. I've kind of dived into this live stream without making any mental preparations for it or anything like that. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head, so my thoughts won't be particularly organized. So this basically just feels like a vlog on an episode of my life, almost. It's good. It's good. So yeah, one thing, staying on the theme of Ferrari, I was certainly deeply saddened by the passing of Patrick Tambay a few weeks back. I thought he was one of the most heroic Ferrari drivers ever, I think, and deserves. Had statistics. Oh, has my connection crashed? This is one of the fun elements of live streams. It looks like the okay, we're learning as we go. This is an experimental live stream still. This is so if it crashes, it crashes. Looks like it's still going. So my yeah. The internet symbol on my laptop is still showing as being online, not disconnected, at least not at the moment, and so we'll see what happens for sure when the stream gets archived. So yeah, I think that Patrick Tambay deserves to be remembered as one of Ferrari's greatest drivers purely because although he wasn't statistically one of their greatest drivers, he was one of their most heroic drivers, and the way he stepped in and carried the team on his back through some of their darkest and most tragic moments, I think deserves real recognition. I think to win the German Grand Prix the day after Didier Pironi's horrible accident, and then to win again at San Marino in 1983, the year after the sad situation with Pironi and Gilles Villeneuve, to win again a year later at the same circuit in Ferrari number 27 is, for me, watching it, and I've watched the video of that race many times, it's one of the most beautiful and heartwarming but heartbreaking at the same time moments in F1 history, as far as I'm concerned, because it was helping avenge in the nicest possible way. I'm trying to say this without trying to use the right words here, but basically it was like he avenged the defeat for Gilles Villeneuve, but there was an element of the phoenix rising from the ashes, I thought, with that victory, helping to keep Gilles Villeneuve's memory alive and helping to perhaps right one of history's wrongs. And there was something very magical and very beautiful about the way Patrick Tambay won at San Marino in 1983, and that was one of the more beautiful moments in F1 history, I'd say. So for those two race wins alone, I realised that the likes of Michael Schumacher and Alberto Ascari achieved much more success statistically. And Patrick Tambay just won those two races, but they were two of the most special races, two of the most special race wins, I would say, for Ferrari. So I think that the good he did by winning those two races, the good he did the Ferrari team by winning those two races was immeasurable. And that's something which the Ferrari team will have taken through life and will have taken through to the present day. That that goodness and that success that restored harmony that he helped to give them. So it all will have played a part. So basically, he has certainly played a unique and special part in F1 history and also Ferrari's history. So it was really sad to to lose Patrick Tomby. Definitely. Although obviously nobody lives forever. We all have to go at some point, but it was sad. It was deeply sad. So and this has been quite this has been quite a turbulent few months and years, I would say, in F1 history in terms of losing legends who have been such a major part of the sport, who've been so highly thought of within the sport for so long, basically. So, and Patrick Tomby was the most recent example, I would say. So, this is so much, there's so much more in my mind that I could say at the moment that I could think of when the camera's not on me. This is something which will hopefully change as I get more used to broadcasting on on live streams. But yeah, I think I am I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts about this. So yeah. Um by the way, you'll notice a few like doors going and some other noises going on in the hotel can get a bit noisy. It doesn't have the best soundproofing. So you will hear some noises from time to time. There's occupational hazard of hotel living and being on live streams. Yeah. Orange juice is good. Just realizing that I'm intending to call this series of live streams at the moment Lion's Coffee Break. Coffee break, and I've got orange juice. Woohoo! Just checking some notifications on my phone. I realised that still nobody's watching me, so I can do pretty much whatever I want. This is still a big zero up there. I'd be more freaked out if that zero ever changed, to be honest. Yeah. I do have a coffee with me. I'll be drinking that probably in a bit. So yeah. I'd say one thing that's really interested me at the moment, certainly since New Year especially, has been the Andretti Autosport story. I think that Michael Andretti's team, it's great to see them. It's great to see Michael Andretti getting this team together and trying to get into F1. I'm hoping he's going to be successful. I'm hoping that it's going to be a chance to create an all-American F1 team, because I think it's something which has been lacking, and I think that it would be great. One thing that I've always felt bad about a little bit as an F1 fan has been that I feel that America, the United States of America, has been so underrepresented in F1 over the years. Obviously, there's been Phil Hill, champion in 1961. There's been Mario Andretti, champion in 1978 even. And there was no... yeah. So, but... And there's been many races, obviously, in different circuits in America over the years, but it's been great to see over the last 10 years, America finally starting to have much more of a presence in F1, which has just been fantastic. I've always felt that it's been a little bit too European based, or European and Asian based as well. Like, they've F1 has expanded into Asia but not into America enough. And I feel that since Liberty Media took over, things have finally been happening to redress that balance, which has been fantastic. And it was brilliant to see Miami get an F1 race, and it was one of the races I particularly enjoyed from 2022 was the Miami Grand Prix. I think it's great that the F1 is in Miami, and I can't wait to see the Las Vegas Grand Prix as well, which is just sounds like it's going to be amazing. So, as well as obviously the race at COTA, which is now very well established. So, I think one of my earliest memories as an F1 fan was what I consider one of the classic American races, although it's not fondly remembered by many fans, I think, which was Phoenix, because the first Grand Prix at Phoenix was actually the third ever Grand Prix that I ever watched as an F1 fan back in 1989. And I felt that that race was iconic, not because of being one of the most exciting races in F1 history, or one of the greatest races in terms of results, but it felt to me like that race was at such an interesting was in such an interesting circuit, because it was a different circuit. It was extreme weather conditions, because obviously Phoenix in June, with this being in a part of the world where it's basically in the middle of a desert and it heats up like an oven during the summer months. And so they were racing in 40-degree Celsius heat, basically, and there were all kinds of issues with the circuit and the cars because of the extreme heat, and also because those particular cars had such a unique sound. The atmospheric engines, just after the turbos had been banned and before they began to be homologated into sounding and performing more similarly, I think in 1989, each engine, or even the way different engines being installed differently in different cars, the same engine being installed differently in different cars, each car had a different sound, basically. And I think that F1 cars in 1989, 1990, that kind of era, they sounded iconic, basically. And Phoenix, the way it was, the way it was laid out with the acoustics of the place and the high rise buildings, the way that the sound of the cars kind of echoed around Phoenix. I thought that the cars in that race just sounded glorious, and it was just the most amazing. It was the most amazing race. As a purist F1 fan, I think it was an amazing race to watch and just enjoy. And I still enjoy watching that race from time to time. I think it's I think it was beautiful F1 race, and the footage of that race is beautiful footage. It's it's the kind of stuff you can't put a price on, really. I think as an F1 fan. So I've always, as an F1 fan, America has always had a place in my heart, I think. And I've always thought it's a great shame that F1 in America hasn't taken off more, and that America hasn't had more of a presence in F1. And now we finally seem to be changing that, which is awesome. And I'm really hoping that Andretti Autosport with Cadillac as well. It's amazing to hear that Cadillac is possibly getting into F1. That's something that I certainly didn't expect. So that's brilliant. It's brilliant if that can happen. That would be fantastic. Obviously, I'm very aware that there's so many kind of obstacles for Michael Andretti to overcome before this can actually happen, sadly. But I'm hoping that compromises can be reached, and I'm hoping that things can gradually be dealt with one by one, and that the that Andretti Cadillac F1 team can can become a reality, because it would be so good for F1, and it would be so good for it would just be a win-win situation for everybody if common sense can prevail on that. Oh, all the ice has melted in this. Oh. So now I am probably gonna have to plug this laptop in soon. I think it's been sitting here for a while. Even before I started the live stream, it's been sitting here for a while. With that's maybe about got it's maybe got about 30% battery left. So it's and this has good battery life. This laptop, I've got to say. So it's probably okay. But yeah, um, I'd actually love to. I doubt there's any possibility of it ever happening, but I'd actually love to see Phoenix back as an F1 circuit again. That'll be fun. It would probably be because it would be a new challenge for. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't feel particularly outdated. I don't think, because it would be if F1 did try racing there again, it would be a new challenge for the current generation of F1 cars and F1 drivers. So yeah, dreams as an F1 fan. That's uh, Wondering what else I'm glad I've got around to making this live stream actually, or at least filming it, because I've been for quite a while. I've been planning to do this live stream and haven't found a good time to do it, or haven't felt like I was in the right, haven't felt like I was confident enough to try doing it. So it feels all good. Ah, there we go. That's a laptop plugged in now, so. No danger of self-imposed power outages. So, basically, looking at my own notification on the other YouTube channel, that's vanity gone crazy. Actually getting a little bit of, not that I need it, with it being 3 degrees Celsius outside, but getting a little bit of air conditioning from the fan on this laptop. Because right behind the laptop is the wall of the room underneath the window, and it's the laptop sitting in a corner basically. So any air moving around it or moving out of it is just blowing back at me. But yeah. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Acclimatizing myself to being a YouTuber, or at least trying to. It's good. Life's a learning experience, right? There's a coffee. Now I'm drinking coffee. That all feels good. Trying to fit this stuff in around. What I'd like to do is at some point, certainly at least if the live stream, if the channel starts to get subscribers and starts to take off, then I would like to try doing live streams like this late in the afternoon, or an hour or two maybe after each race. Do the live streams as a kind of decompression for everyone, because generally I've noticed that all the fans, quite often we like to continue speaking about F1, speaking about the race that's just happened, if it's been a good race at least, speak about the race that's just happened for longer after, for example, after Sky or whoever's been showing the race live on TV has finished showing it, then people still want to speak about it for a while. So what I'd be interested in doing at some point is providing a live stream for everyone can hit up the live stream after maybe an hour or so after the race finishes, and we could speak some more about it. That'd be the idea, at least. I know that in order to make that happen, I need to get some subscribers, but that's all good. To be honest, first and foremost, I'm happy doing this with or without subscribers at the moment, because I'm doing this because I want to do it. I'm doing this because my heart's in it, rather than I'm not doing it for I'm not doing it as a popularity contest. So I'm doing this because I want to do what I can to contribute to the F1 community online on YouTube, and also basically because my heart's in it, and if people are watching me and liking what I'm doing, then that's an added bonus. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the idea. That's the idea behind it. So let's see. Yep, this one is kind of needing charged. So I'll put this phone on charge. Take this plug out of the multi extension lead I've got going on here, and disconnect that phone, and yes. Oops. There we go. So yeah. Well, basically pretty chilled out at the moment, and really don't have any plans for tonight as such. So I was planning to watch possibly more classic F1 on YouTube actually tonight. I've been building up a playlist of classic F1 races that I enjoy listening to, that I enjoy watching and listening to. And basically my favorite classic F1 races, and trying to compile those into one huge badass playlist. So I've started at least with those, and all that helps to show the F1 community when the time comes and I'm more like more people have become aware of the channel. I am basically looking to show that playlist as being a way of giving other fans, showing other fans what kind of classic F1 that I'm interested in, and also showing, giving them something that they can watch as well, which is all in one place. Hopefully, that's the idea. So this is really, this will change. This will change as I start to get more subscribers and more viewers on this. I'm just not feeling any pressure on me to say anything at the moment, to be honest. This is probably going to be the most cringe, maybe not the most cringe, but quite cringe. I'll probably look back on this maybe if I get into the habit of regularly, if I can manage to develop this channel and get into the habit of regularly doing these live streams, then this one will basically I'll look back on it as probably in months to come as being painfully bad. But that's all. That's okay. That's part of we've all got to start somewhere, right? So this feels fine. So yeah, this is I'll have to look at this. I'll have to look back at this. I'll like watch it back and see how things are. See how things look. See how things look. If I need to work on lighting, maybe if I should try doing a stream during the day, or if I should try different lighting techniques, because it looks to me like my face is kind of quite well illuminated by the screen, but I don't know if this type of light shows my face well or not. I'll have to look back on it. Basically, I certainly like the lighting in the room. It feels pretty good. I find the lighting's very atmospheric in these Travelodge rooms. So, now I can see it's down to 2 degrees C outside. We're supposed to be getting a lot of cold weather. We're supposed to be getting, over this next week or two, we're meant to be getting a lot of cold weather coming down from the Arctic. and some sub-zero temperatures and snow and ice and other fun stuff coming our way. One thing I would like, actually, to be honest, although obviously I wouldn't want this to happen I wouldn't want this to endanger any drivers or spectators at all in terms of the increased likelihood of accidents, but I would love to see snow, maybe snow during an F1 race, or an F1 race being held kind of in snowy weather, snowy conditions, just purely because we've never really seen it. I know that I don't think it's ever happened during a championship Formula One race. I know that snow fell during the International Trophy at Silverstone in 1973, April 1973. I understand it was a particularly cold, snowy April, and the race started in good weather conditions, but it was extremely cold and it actually started to snow during the race. That kind of thing would be amazing to see now. Obviously, it's not something that I'd only I'd only want to see it happen if it was if it meant there was no increase in danger to drivers or spectators through having obviously the increased danger of cars flying off the track and having accidents. Obviously, I wouldn't want to see anyone put in increased danger of any harm or anything like that. But I just think it would be a cool thing to see. So right, well, I'm guessing this is probably a good point to start to wrap up the live stream. I've enjoyed it. Clearly, no one's seen it. We've had a 0 viewers all the way through. So maybe people will come back and watch it another time. It'll be up here anyway, it'll be archived. So if anyone does want to see it, if anyone does want to watch it at some point in the future. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. And okay, so we'll wrap up the live stream now. Really enjoyed making this. Really enjoyed making this stream. See you at the next one.